Hi there, this is Matt with State of Flux with yet another of my Everyone's a Critic 52-week movie challenge. We are on challenge number 46, a film with your favorite actor or actress. The movie I chose, Alien³ or Alien³. Year released 1992, aspect ratio 2:21, at least when it was in its theatrical market. The 70mm cut. Runtime 1 hour 54 minutes. Sci-fi horror is the genre. Rated R, starring Sigourney Weaver, Charles S. Dutton, Charles Dance, Ralph Brown, and Lance Henriksen. Directed by David Fincher. Produced by Fox, 20th Century Fox. Written by David Giler, Walter Hill, Larry Ferguson, and Vincent Ward. Music by Elliot Goldenthal, and it received a nomination for an Academy Award for Best Visual Effects. Which is kind of funny because that's not something that a lot of people think works for this movie. I disagree. I think the special effects in this movie are perfectly fine. They might be composited a little shaky sometimes, but I actually kind of think it adds to the alien look of the thing. It doesn't look bad to me, it just looks unnatural. But it should, because it's Alien. Anyway, gonna keep moving on. Why did I choose this particular film? If you've followed my videos before, I did a sequel, which was Aliens, and way back in the very beginning, I did an early film from a famous actor or actress. Sigourney Weaver is my favorite actress, so I chose Alien. So, when I had to do a film with my favorite actor or actress, I was like, let's hit Alien³. Have I seen this movie before? Yes, but it's been shockingly a long time. It's probably been 10, almost 15 years since I've seen this movie. Would I recommend this film? Why or why not? That is a fantabulous question because in a bubble, this film has select qualities that I think Fincher fans particularly kind of latch onto. Does it deserve them? Not necessarily. I think that them viewing this as his auteur vision is just simply not true because the facts support that this is not his vision. However, he does have his stamp on it. And like I said in my Aliens review, I think the Alien franchise is the most unique franchise in that each of the first 3 movies works best if there's no other movie in the franchise. Like, if Alien was a standalone movie, it's fine. Aliens is a phenomenal movie that works better if you've never seen Alien. If you're just operating sort of like the Marines, where you're like, what is she saying? None of this could possibly be true. And then when you see the truth of it, it amplifies the drama. This is also much the same, because as a sequel, this movie kind of is a destruction of the franchise. It purposely and willfully backtracks every bit of theme and hope that Aliens instills by the end of that film. As a sequel, it's just simply a bad sequel. As an individual film, it kind of works better, especially since, much like Aliens, if you're listening to what she has to say, but like the prisoners are not believing what she says, it kind of works and makes the film stronger. Alien³ works best if you never see any other Alien movie. I sort of stand by that. Would I recommend this movie, though? No, I wouldn't, because I can't help but watch it as a sequel. And even not, it does some things that I think are so damning, just on a film level, that I can't justify it. This film is incredibly misogynistic, which is disappointing walk back from the feministic vision of Ripley in Aliens. Now, the feminism in Aliens may come or have its roots in sort of 80s conservatism in its feministic leanings. But it's still a strong feminist film, by and large. This film, Ripley's stuff is kind of okay, but any time that she is placed in a scene with a man, which is throughout the entire film, she is the only female in this, by and large, somebody will say something to her that is sexist, or they have a conversation early on in the film of having to get her off of the planet because they can't control their nature, their manliness to not take advantage of her in any kind of sexual way. Now, granted, these are convicted rapists and stuff like that, but it's also suggesting that a man is incapable of control within the presence of a female. Even these men that have supposedly learned from their crimes or are in there for rehabilitative purposes. Furthermore, it has the most egregious scene in the entire franchise that I think is absolutely inexcusable, and that is the attempted rape of Ripley. And it's not just a singular rape, it is a gang rape that is done where then a man has to come in and fucking save her, which backtracks everything from the first two movies. Now, if you watch the making of featurettes, as I did, it's been a long time since I've watched them. Last time I watched the making of featurettes for Alien³ was back in 2004 when it was released on DVD. But I remember distinctly watching the interviews in Alien, Aliens, Alien³ with David Giler, who was producer of the first two films and became screenwriter of this film, sort of patting himself on the back of the decision to make Ripley which was written as a male character or a sexless character, to be a female. And we made this great female character, the strong female character in the first and second movie. But once he is given a chance to write a screenplay for her, criminally reduces her role to that of a sexualized object, and then has her become the near victim of a rape where a man is the only one that is able to save her from that. Says a lot about, I think, him as a writer. Now, I should not speak ill of the dead. He recently passed away, I think about 2 years ago. In those interviews, I just found him specifically to be a kind of disgusting, despicable human being. And his prints on this film seem to be firm, which is kind of a shame, especially considering all the interviews people have given about their involvement with this film and how his and Walter Hill's behavior were as producers who then became writers, and thinking that their word was sacred. You're going to do my version of how dare you think that you're a better writer than us? We made Alien and Aliens. And it's like, well, you produced them. I don't know that you necessarily had the artistic stamp to say that you made them, and then to backtrack and say that they were kind of hampered with the quality of the movie that they were given, and the rush time and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, well, on some level they do have to set that as well. That just seems like bollocks to me. Not a fan of David Giler and Walter Hill, especially since Giler also would talk about the Taiwanese women that he was sleeping with, and talk about his sexual exploits and stuff. All of that kind of feeds into this film's view of women, and that's something that is disturbing. On another level, it's needlessly, sorely nihilistic, and I have no idea why. And it seems like it wanted to take everything that Aliens had to say, any ounce of positivity that movie ended with, and just burn it to the fucking ground. And it baffled me back when I first saw this as a kid. I saw this at age 8, and I found it just kind of baffling. But as an adult, I have no idea. I'm fine with movies that take big creative swings, and I'm fine with killing characters. I think that the death of a major character can be something that's beautiful and earned if you take the time to earn it. Hicks and Newt's death in this film is absolutely not earned. And you can make a point that death sometimes is sudden and traumatic and isn't earned or explainable, and that's fine, but you have to find a way to to cement that in your movie, and this film just really doesn't do that. It seems like hateful to the film that it came before, resentful of the film that came before. And I want to know if some of that comes from the standpoint that the producers had a lot of friction with James Cameron while making Aliens. Is that why they wanted to walk back? Why they wanted to kill Newt? Why they wanted to kill Hicks? It was, and the autopsy of Newt is especially grotesque. And like, it serves a sort of purpose on behalf of Ripley, but the way that they go about it, the violence of what you're seeing, just seems like it's there to push buttons rather than to do anything creatively or say anything kind of meaningful. And I think that's some of the problem. As I said, this film is like unyieldingly nihilistic, and tonally it's not for me. It's ugly, which is a good time to segue into my next point of positivity. As ugly as this film is at its core, this is the best looking Alien film, without question. Better than anything Ridley Scott has touched in his 3 takes at the Alien franchise. Better than Cameron's, better than the directors that would come later. But Fincher knows how to create mood and tension, he knows how to frame, he knows how to create memorable shots. Throughout this film, there's gorgeous cinematography. And that was the thing that always, as a kid, had me coming back to it. I never liked Alien 3, not ever, never. But I would find myself watching it, sometimes often, because I liked how it looked. I liked how the alien felt a little more alien, was a little different. I liked the whole like jaguar or alien dog kind of like figure that we get in this one. I like that it changes its biology if it connects with a different animal. So we've only seen it burst from humans. Now we see it burst from a dog or an ox, depending on the version of the film that you've watched. I watched the theatrical cut, by the way. I like that. And the alien just has a great look to it. This film has good energy. It is pumping with energy. And Elliot Goldenthal's score is so good. Arguably one of the best, if taking Aliens out of it, I think that Goldenthal's score is the best of the franchise. I love also the character journey that Ripley goes on. I don't know that this film did nothing to justify the death of Newt, the death of Hicks, or the complete complete disregard of character for Bishop, or Bishop too. Heavens. The one thing it did earn was the death of Ripley. Now, I have zero qualms with her character journey in this. I like that she's got the thing in her. I like that she is working and striving to either kill herself and kill it with her, or kill it. I like her interaction with Charles Dutton. Sigourney Weaver elevates the fuck out of this. If Sigourney Weaver wasn't as good and gifted as an actress, this movie would be goddamn unwatchable, shy of its cinematography. This would be a movie that you watch on mute, and that is all. But she is so good. She takes honestly shitty dialogue and makes it something worthwhile, something that you believe is happening, because she's gifted, and she's placed opposite of other gifted actors. Charles Dance's character is kind of just a cardboard cutout of an awful kind of like, I'm a surgeon who's done something wrong. A bad thing happened at an accident once and I'm paying life sentence for it. And it's just like a, oh God, please, kind of soap opera-y kind of character. Charles Dance is a good enough actor that he elevates that character, but it's Charles Dutton who is so good. He almost steals the show from Sigourney Weaver, and that's saying something. he has the most impact on this film, and every scene that he is in is just brimming and pumping with energy and believability, authenticity. He is a fully realized character, and I don't know that it's his character that's fully realized, it's his performance that makes it as such. And so that's kind of where I'm at with the positives. The ugliness of story, the way that it walks back aliens, and the just kind of like, once a story starts not reading well with you, that's when you start like picking and poking at holes in the plot. And so like, this film operates on a false start in the sense that there is no feasible way that there would have been an alien egg aboard the Sulaco. There just isn't. That would either mean that somebody, that the egg was in there the whole way, as Bishop does say in the film, or the alien queen somehow laid it, even though she separated from the egg sac at the end of Aliens. So there's no way for her to have done that. Or, as some people have hypothesized, Bishop had brought it on there, working on company orders and stuff like that. But all of that seems tosh. They had no idea how to get the alien involved in this, and they're like, well, we'll just put it in there in the literal opening shot, and you won't have time to think about it because this movie's just going to pump right through. But you as an audience member, having just watched Alien and Aliens, are pumping the brakes immediately because you're like, this can't feasibly happen. And then there's question as to how is the thing in her. Now I remember reading the comic book back when it came out in 1993 and learning that it actually went aboard the facehugger hatches, it goes on Newt. Newt drowns when they crash land, and it comes out of Newt and crawls down Ripley's mouth. That is truly what happens. But the way this film is edited, you see it clearly over Newt, but then Ripley is sort of implied to have had it the whole time, and it's like, what? And then suddenly there's another facehugger that this time gets the dog and or ox, depending on the version of the film that you watch. And it's like, where did that one come from? Like, it's hard enough to buy into that there was one that got into Newt or Ripley. Like, if you're going to have one be in Newt or Ripley in the first place, why wouldn't you have just said that it happened when Burke locked him in the room? It would have been a dumbass answer, because having watched the first Alien, you know how long it takes for it to gestate and for you to come out of the comatose state. But this film doesn't concern itself with any kind of prior logic or care of characters from before, so why not just go that route? It's dumb. This movie is dumb. And then it walks back Bishop. I like the scene with Ripley and Bishop from the junkyard after her attempted rape or whatever, and she starts talking with the Bishop android, and he asks to be disconnected. But when Bishop 2, the Bishop that created Bishop, shows up, and he's just your typical company man, it's like, well, why? What? Why? Why is that there? Why is he a thing? Like, this is dumb. I know Lance Henriksen even despised playing that character. He said he had fun with it, but he didn't like this movie because he didn't like any of the character decisions that were made with his characters. And I get it. It's bunk. Man, I ranted a lot. Let's move on. Which character were you most able to identify with or connect with, and in what way? I would say Ripley. You've gone on this journey with her, you've watched her lose everything, and you see that she is teetering towards the end of her life, and she wants to take command of the situation and kill the alien one last time. That line's never in the movie, but it's in all the trailers, and it's a great line in all the trailers. Let's see. Best line or most memorable quote, I like when she's facing the alien in the room with all the pipes, and she's like, you've been in my life so long I can't remember anything else. And then she stabs at that thing that no longer is there. She's now punched through a pipe, and then somehow the alien is far away, which can only happen through tricks of editing. In real life, nothing like that could ever possibly happen, and it's frustrating as shit because you are... I hate it. I hate this movie. Okay. I'm gonna keep moving. It's not a quote, but it's a visual quote, and so I want to give props to it. And this was something that apparently Fincher had to fight the producers to include in the film. They wanted him to cut it, or not even waste his time filming it. But at the scene where Charles Dance has just died, Ripley backs herself into the corner, and the alien comes close to face to face. And that shot is incredible. It is haunting, it is beautiful, and this film, for what it's worth, is actually scary. I think it's, at times, even scarier than the first film, because it's atmospheric, but you can actually see a little more. It works for me. I like it. I like that aspect of it. Okay. Were you surprised by the ending? What would you do differently? I remember being surprised that Ripley died when I first saw it. I was not expecting that, but it worked for me. I never once complained, even as a kid, that Ripley died. As an adult, I think it's an earned death. It's a powerful ending for her character. Is it the ending that I wanted to see? No, that happened in the previous film, Aliens, but this film just, like, fucked that one, so whatever. I did think that they did a good job with the actual ending, and I like how they eliminated the alien without any weapons. I thought it was clever. Would I like to see this star challenge themselves with a different genre? What genre do you feel they could do well in? Sigourney Weaver is a perfect actress. She can do any genre. She's done horror, action, comedy, drama. She's great at drama. I would like her to see. I'd like to see her do more comedy. I think she's very funny and in an unsung way. She, not in this film, but in Alien Resurrection, she has some of the funniest lines in that film, and she delivers them pitch perfect. She can always capitalize on comedy. I really like Galaxy Quest as well. She's a fucking standout in. So I think she could do some more with comedy. She's in the Ghostbusters movies, but she always plays the straight one in it, so that kind of irked me. I feel like she could do more with comedy. Anything else I would like to add? There is some people call it a director's cut. It is not. There is an assembly cut or a producer's cut of the film that you can watch that does smooth out some of the rougher edges and makes the film make more make more sense throughout the context of all that was happening throughout everything, because it is kind of a wild ride that you're taking on. But kind of not unlike Zack Snyder's Justice League, just because it's longer and just because it makes things more well-rounded and make more sense doesn't mean that it's necessarily any fucking better than the theatrical cut. In fact, I would say the producer's cut is about equal on par. The stuff that doesn't work is still there, glaringly so. You've just watched it a second time and have allowed those things to kind of smooth over yourself upon revisiting it. That often happens with repetition. Some things are just so egregious that you can never look beyond. And for me, the degradation of Ripley's character, coming from the prisoners early on in the beginning and that attempted rape scene is just so foul. The film picks up and is considerably better in its last half. That makes the film watchable at best, but I would never recommend this movie unless it was never recommend this movie to somebody who has seen Aliens. If you've seen only the first Alien, then yeah, maybe you'd enjoy this one. Or if you like Fincher's work, there's some good things to be seen here. Or if you've never seen an Alien movie, this isn't a bad one to see. In that it gives you a lot of the different stuff that you need in an Alien film. And it gives you the first alien acid spit, which is kind of neat. Some people credit that with Alien Resurrection, but no, it's this movie. Go back, I just rewatched it. Alright, we're going to move on to the next challenge. Movie about a famous person. Well, that's vague as shit, but I'll see what I can do. What do you think of Alien 3? This is a movie that has an extreme cult following. I've never understood it outside of the fact that the film was directed by a titan of the industry who has also disowned this movie. So I really don't understand why people still really hang on to it. But yeah, it had a great poster. It had a great series of trailers. And it has a great conclusion to Ripley's story. It has great visual effects, as recognized by the Academy, or at least a nod from the Academy, and it has great, stunning cinematography and use of color. But beyond the technical elements and Weaver and Dutton's performances, you have a mean-spirited, sexist, disgusting, foul movie that takes an iconic final girl and bends her over a bar and has a man try to force himself on her. Doesn't work for me. But let me know if it works for you in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, peace.